Uh, there we go. Cool. So phase three projects. Awesome. Let's just crack right into it. And let's go, we'll just go straight down the list here. Charlie and Joey, let's start off with the movies stuff. Show me what you got.
Okay, there we go. Can y'all see the screen? All right, cool. So me and Joey built like a movie rater app where put some data in our backend, and basically like you can there's a list of movies you can check and see what kind of reviews people left, and you can make a new review, and that will post it to our backend. Should have popped up there. Oh, okay. Normally works. And then you can also delete reviews. That'll send the SQL query to the backend, delete it from there. You can edit them, change stuff. You're like, oh, that's done. And that will do an update on the backend. We also have a favorites tab where you can click a little favorite button here, and that again will do post request to the backend, and it'll put it over here in our favorites tab, and it'll put it right down there. We've got a top section where it takes the movies on the backend and rates them according to their overall, an average of their ratings from all the reviews that they had. And we also made some users, and you can see, just like what reviews each user had. I tried to figure out how to get the movies attached as well, but it was an exercise in futility. Joey?
Yeah, so for our back end, we made 4 tables, I think it was. If you go back to the homepage, Charlie, the main table we made was the movies tab and the reviews, and then we also did a users table as well as a favorites table. So for the reviews, each review row has its own movie ID. So that's why when you go to the card and you click on click to see new reviews, each of the reviews is linked to that movie ID, which is how it populates on the page. And then we also did that search bar up top. So we only made, since we manually did this, we only made, I think, 20 movies. But if you wanted to filter through the movies, and if this was like a fully built out back end with 10,000 movies, it would be useful to use that search bar up top to filter through each movie. I think that's pretty much all that we did. The routers are up top for each tab, the homepage, favorites, and the top movies tab as well.
Nice.
Yeah, we ended up having
filtering on the front end or the back end.
Sorry?
Are you doing the filtering on the front end or the back end?
We're doing the filtering on the front end.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if there was like 10,000 movies, it would be a little bit rougher.
Yeah. Yeah, I made the data by hand because I tried to use that Faker gem and it just did not have the it wasn't quite as robust as I would have hoped that it was, and had to do it by hand. That's pretty much it.
Cool. Any questions or anything else? Can you talk a little bit about the troubles you had getting some of this together?
Yeah, I think I ran into a pretty big problem working with the favorites tab, because when you clicked on favorite, it would post the movies, but within the objects, there was an array of reviews for each movies, and it was really hard to grab that data and post it. So, because we had to make, at first we thought we had to make 2 separate posts, but eventually we could have just done some work on the back end to grab each piece of data within that reviews, and then we could filter it that way. That was a big problem that we had. I was kind of stuck on it for like a day and a half, and it really slowed me down. But
Awesome. Did it.
Yep.
Other questions? Cool. Looks great. Love it. Let's see who's up next. Let's do Kota and Shippy with your university moving sellers is what I have written down.
All right, let me share screen. Cool. Can you everybody see? Great. So Kota and I wanted to create an app that kind of solved a problem that he had recently when he was like moving out of a dorm, and that using Facebook Marketplace was kind of a pain in the butt. So we wanted to have something that was a little more specific. And when we were talking about it, we wanted to have kind of two ways of handling this. One is that if you're not a user, you would be able to come in and just like have accessibility to the website and be able to take a look at what's going on. And also that if you were a user of the website, you would be able to have like other functionality to actually make posts and buy things. So when you start as a guest, you have kind of like access to, you know, regular functionality. Our colleges are sorted alphabetically, and you can use this search bar and filter two different ways. You can either find the name of the college that you're looking for and click on it, and that will pop up the college with the things that people are selling, or you can type it in, and we have like partial matching so that if you only type in part of the name, we're pretty close on getting you exactly where you want to go. So as a user, you're able to like check the colleges and see what's for sale. You can click more info and kind of get a little bit better idea of what the thing is that's actually being sold. And then we have two kind of features here from the login screen. You can either log in if you're a existing user, or you can sign up if you are not a user. So we'll start by logging myself in. And then once you are logged in, you kind of have the same functionality, but there's a couple differences. If you are the owner of a post, I got to find somewhere that I own something. You've got some extra features on these posts, right? From the college where you have them posted, you can make changes. Like nobody's going to pay $520 for this coffee table. That's ridiculous. So we can adjust that price and it'll update in real time. If we take a look at this floor lamp and we're like, you know what, it's been up here for a couple of days, we just don't really like it, you can get rid of it, and now it's deleted from the system. And then the other place that you can do that is if you go to my posts, you can see kind of everything that you as a user have posted. It's not connected to it. It is connected to the university, but it doesn't show what university it's specifically connected to here. But the good thing that it does is we have this thing called interest, where you can generate interest. If somebody wants to buy something, you'll get these little notification bubbles that somebody wants to buy your stuff. And so when you are a user and you are logged in, you can go to these posts and send interest to a user. And now if Kota owns this armchair, when he goes into his posts, he'll see that somebody was interested in it. And then just to kind of show making a new post, if we wanted to go to ASU and create a post, we went into the, we did the walkthrough with Mark the other day on file upload. And so you can either click this and choose a file, or we can just drag something in here. And so we'll say Moscow Mule mugs, and we'll sell them for $10. And my phone number is whatever. And now we have this nice post that's under ASU, and it's a photo that we uploaded from our computer. And then when you go check my posts, it exists with everything else. Is there anything I missed, Kota, or anything else you want to talk about?
I think that covered everything. There's like certain restrictions we have to. So like if you're making a new account, you can't repeat usernames, or it'll come up with an error message if you try to sign up, and you have the same existing username already exists. Also like for requests, that's something we did like yesterday. which we had to make another table for, and that as well, like you can't make multiple requests from the same user to the same post because that's kind of meaningless. So those are unique as well.
Yeah, if you've already sent interest, the button won't go away, but like if I click this a bunch of times, it'll only show one time, because once you try to do it again, it'll show that it already exists and you're not allowed to be interested more than once.
Awesome. That looks great. Anyone have any questions about this?
I had a question for like your login styling. Did y'all use like Bootstrap or Material UI?
We use Material UI.
Yeah, Material UI.
Cool.
Basically everything's Material UI. We also implemented Recoil for state, but we only really used it for login state. But I mean, it was still useful because a lot of our functionality where like things display or don't display largely depend on whether a user is logged in or not. And so we just found ourselves on all these different pages passing in logged in information. And it was just much easier to use Recoil than to like filter it down through 6 different things each time we needed to use it.
That's what it's there for. Awesome. With the login stuff, did you wind up doing any encryption on the back end, or is that all plain text still?
It's all plain text still. And I actually noticed this morning too, when I was looking at it, that like when you enter our password here as a user logging in, it is hidden, but when you go to sign up, it's not. I mean, that's an easy change that we can make, but we should be able to toggle it, I think, because people want to like write their password encrypted and then like look at it is a pretty common thing. And then when we were doing like the routing, we found this nice way to like do the back buttons, which is just like a use router -1 basically, instead of trying to like find the exact route, which was helpful when we were in these pages where like this thing could be accessed from inside of a college card or from inside of your post. So it just made it a lot cleaner with how to navigate.
Awesome. Cool. Other questions? Sweet. That was great stuff. Love it. Let's see. Who do we have up next? Let's look at Chris B and Victoria, and Flip It is what I have written down. Oh, yeah, got it. Flipping it. Got it.
My internet is kind of spotty today, so I'm just going to shut down my video to make sure my voice will come through better. Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out why I can't see the right screen. Here we go. There we go. All right, everybody can hear me okay? All that good stuff. All right, so we did a site for house projects. We called it Flip It, and it makes it so you can pretty much add your home renovation project to like a checklist of like things that you have to do for different rooms or different projects inside your house. We made it so that it lists all the projects that are already on the database, and you can narrow them down by whatever keywords that you want. Obviously, there's lots of beds, but so split. Oops. And now that's not working again. I did fix that last night, and for some reason now it's not working again. But so if you want to create a new house, it gives you the house nickname. Let's see, we'll put in big house. And we didn't do file upload. We were gonna dive into it, but we were running out of time, so we just kept it with URLs. Maybe next project we can do it. And we'll do Concord, I don't know, Arkansas. And then we create the house, and it generates a new house in the database. Then you can add rooms to the new house. So we'll do bedroom. And create a room, and then you can add a project to that room. So we'll say fix TV. So then you can go in and you can actually, oops, I forgot to add the description, but we can add tools that we need that are required for the renovation project. So like screwdriver. And then we'll add a screwdriver. I think I have one up here. Yeah, here we go. And I don't know why my autofill is coming in here. It hates me. And I have it don't autofill. Shoot, just do that again. Oops. And then we could add a tool in here and it shows up, and you can also add parts and how much they cost. So we're gonna just add a sink for the heck of it. Why not? And then we'll say it's $99. So it takes all the parts that you added and it actually totals it out for how much the project will cost. You can either complete or not complete the project, and it actually does a patch in the back end and updates the project. So you can actually go back, and if you have multiple projects, you can click between them. And then the back end stuff, I will leave to Victoria. Oh, also you can go to the other projects and view them. So let's see. This one, glass short shower. We need to fix that
Yeah,
stuff
Chris,
with
do you want to
caulk
go
and guns.
to the first one, the first house, and see view project on that one? I think because I've got, oh yeah,
For
so
some
you
reason,
can see
it
how like
seems like my most recent changes got reverted for some reason, and I'm not sure why. But we had it working where when it loaded up, it would hide the projects and the project listings, but for some reason now it's not doing it. But so it allows you to, put in a description of it, complete it or not. You can delete tools out, or you could delete projects out, or even rooms. But I'm not sure why my changes aren't up there anymore.
Chris, I do have it up. Do you want me to try and see if I can get my screen share
Yeah,
to
see if you can
operate?
get your screen share to work, because I don't know why I have a different revision. Let me close my screen share.
Sure. Okay. All right. Can you see my screen now? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay, great. Okay, so then, yeah, so if you come to our homepage, we'll say we're viewing this project. So this is the functionality. So you come to the page, you can see the name of the house, picture of the house, and all of its address details. Then you can see which rooms have been added to this home. And then when you click on a room, you're able to see which projects are going on in those rooms. And then as you click the projects, then you get more details about what's going on. So this project we've marked as completed. So it's hold the Boolean value in the back end, and that's what allows you to view it as completed or not completed. And as you can see, as you have like multiple parts, then you get like a subtotal cost of all your parts, which was calculated using the reduce method on the front end. And that was fun to kind of get to use, because I remember learning a little bit about it, but I thought it was a little bit complicated. I wasn't so sure about it. So it was kind of nice to figure that out, how to use that and incorporate it in our own project. I want to see here. Yeah, so you can see when you click on fireplace project, you can see that the box is unchecked because on our back end, we haven't changed it to being project complete. So if I do check it, I visit a different project, I return, and it remains checked because it has been patched on our back end. So as far as like backend code discussion, we did end up using a total of 7 tables with all kinds of different relationships. So I found that throughout the project, that was probably the most challenging, was getting all those relationships to work and having this flow, right, of when you click on one thing that you're capturing this particular thing's ID, and you're like clicking on this, and then it's actually populating the correct data, and keep expanding and making sure that it's constantly getting what you want. So that was fun. It was a big learning process, but really enjoyed it. And yeah, so what we could have done, one thing that we were hoping to get going was to have like a login so that you could, like, we had a table that had owners, so every house has a specific owner that had a corresponding username and password. And that was a functionality we wanted to incorporate, was that you could log in, you could see which homes you had, and then only that person could edit what was going on in their home. But yeah, we just kind of ran out of time with all of our troubleshooting on how to get our 7 data tables working and things. But yeah, it was good. Do you have anything else you want to say about it, Chris?
We did do the filtering on the front end, and her version should work. I actually ended up pulling it back from the repo, and there was, for some reason, I had an old version. So now mine's actually working. So if you do like wartime, there's only one, but yeah, there's the filtering actually does work properly.
Nice.
There you go. See.
Yeah, we at first we had a little bit of confusion or trouble that we had to work through to figure out how to route through with the data on the address. So we wanted to carry the ID through when you clicked view project using React Router, and we found out that there was a way to capture that ID. Also doing the redirect when you created a new house to go into that house as well. That was another kind of issue that we had, and we figured out how to push and pop the history from the browser as well. So you can actually use the back button because it saves it in the browser history.
Awesome. That's amazing. All sorts of great stuff in there. I think you already answered my questions. So do y'all have any questions?
Yeah, I also wish we would have got a chance to do the file upload, but so much for that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I had a quick question. Yeah. Can you click on the house, like view project? How did you guys do like the layout for? Because it looks nice. Like how did you guys do like the layout for each of these pages?
So we used, because I'm more diverse with Bootstrap, I've used it a lot in the past. It's just a 4-column layout using Bootstrap's column system. They have everything in divisions of 12. So you can do like quarters, you can do, sixths, you can do whatever you want as long as it's divisible by 12 or within the divisibility of 12. So we just did it in 4 columns, and that way we show and hide things depending on what you're clicking on and the functionality between them. So if she deletes like one of the items from the projects, it'll actually hide the right 2 columns or the right columns so that it digresses backwards as well. So if you delete a room, it'll digress back to rooms and remove the projects column as well. So we just wanted to make it so it was like progressing through the steps and backwards if need be, and then use that as the layout.
Sweet. That looks really good. Cool. Any other questions? All right, great stuff. Last up we have Lauren and our other Chris with the wedding dress site, it looks like.
Yes. All right. I think Lauren is not feeling too hot today. So I'll just go through this quickly, and feel free to jump in if you are feeling up to it, Lauren.
Yeah, I'm feeling up to it.
Okay, cool. So my wife is in the wedding industry, and one of the first like projects, like public projects I want to get up and running is a website for her so she can sell her dresses or do various different things. So we came up with the idea of starting to build that out, and this is our dress e-commerce store. basically, we have the catalog. Here you can like the dresses and that persists, and then you can also add it to your cart. And then you can go over to your cart, and this whatever dresses you add, you know, will be in the cart. And then you can delete them from your cart. We did an About Us page, and we also did a like a filter drop down menu to filter through the catalog. And I'd say this time around, I had a lot of problems with GitHub and like NPM versions, I think is what ended up happening, where we would end up pulling down stuff from GitHub and absolutely nothing would work because the NPM versions were wrong, and it was trying to pull from a library that had a different date from like the code and like all this stuff. So and then also the same sort of thing happened with the browser router. So I think this time around, I really learned checking what versions you're using for things. Because for browser router, I ended up coding it with version 6, but I thought I was using version 6 the whole time. But I was using React router version 6 and not React router DOM version 6. So that really kind of held me back this time around. But yeah, Lauren, do you want to add anything?
Yeah. So like the cards that we created, we had to make all this data by hand, but yeah, you can click on the card and it will toggle from the front to the back image. And then for that like button, when you click on the like, it will actually create a patch request and it will update in the database. So we were trying to come up with a way that if a user logs in and you can see like what is the most, the favorite that they have, you know, the most likes, maybe we could have done like a little stretch goal for that of like probably displaying like what was the most popular dress in that collection. And then, yeah, just figuring out all the CSS, I think was probably the most time consuming part, like how to fit the cards in a specific layout, like how to get the background to not repeat. Just how to move things around with CSS was probably, you know, where I learned them a lot. So yeah, super time consuming for that part. But yeah, overall, like it was really fun working on this project, and yeah, definitely was able to learn a lot more and put a lot more work into it, because you know, when you don't have to think about doing the retake, you can have all your time on this project. So, which is great. But yeah, it was fun. It was great.
Awesome. It looks really great. Any questions?
So is the cart portion, was that like a stretch goal?
The cart was part of our core deliverables. And that's where our post to the database happens, and then also like the delete. So the catalog was the get and the patch with the like button, and then the cart was the like you'd post to the cart and then you could delete from the cart as well.
Nice.
And we had a big stretch goal of maybe if we had time to set up like a payment system in the cart that we didn't particularly get to, but we can always probably add later on.
Sweet. That looks amazing. Other questions? Cool. Great stuff. Awesome. And that's our projects. Each one spectacular. I love it all. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.